Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. The All Progressive Congress APC has named Professor Nentewe Yelwatda as its new national chairman following the resignation of Abdullahi Ganduje due to health issues. Yelwatda, currently Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and a former university don, emerged after a late-night meeting between President Tinubu and APC governors in Abuja. The party's National Executive Committee has rectified his appointment. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is currently holding its National Executive Committee NEC meeting in Abuja with key party leaders in attendance to discuss unity, reconciliation and preparation for an upcoming national convention. Acting National Chairman Umar Damagum called on members who left the party to return, describing them as on transit and expressing confidence in their comeback. Damagum reaffirmed the PDP's position as the only truly national party capable of providing credible leadership. Meanwhile, Governor Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State and the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum also addressed the gathering, urging straightened efforts to rebuild party across all levels. The Senate has adjourned plenary to September 23, 2025, marking the end of the current legislative year with a directive to all committees to conclude work on pending reports ahead of resumption. Over now to Topsy Gimba for details.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, made the announcement after a closed-door executive session that lasted for over an hour. He charged all standing and ad hoc committees to make effective use of two-month break to finalize their assignments in order to ease legislative consideration and adoption upon resumption. In his earlier remarks, Senator Akpabio also encouraged lawmakers to use the recess period to inspect road construction projects in their constituencies and across the country.
The suspension is just plenary sittings. All ad hoc committees should continue to work. All necessary committees, the Diaspora Committee, Committee on Reparation, Committee on Interior, and others. This is the best time for you to undertake visits to prisons and all that. Do all your reports and make them available as soon as we come back. We'll have a special day to consider all reports. And then all the other committees, reports extended to you, you must also make sure that those reports are ready for Senate scrutiny when plenary commences. You are moving from plenary for the next few weeks, but you are not stopping your legislative functions.
Meanwhile, senators are expected to travel to Jos Plateau State on Friday to attend the burial of the wife of their colleague, Senator Dicket Plan, representing Plateau Central.
Tomorrow, we will all converge at Jos to bid the wife of our colleague, the Senior Senator Dicket Plan, Mrs. Plan, farewell as she goes back to her Creator. May her soul once again rest in perfect peace.
The long recess is an annual break for countries practicing democracy around the world, which by its annual calendar ends in June of every legislative year. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The Nigerian Senate has refuted recent social media claims that the Constitution Review Committee proposed creating 12 new states in Nigeria. Senator Abdul Ningi, representing Bauchi Central, dismissed the report as false from plenary under Order 42, clarifying that the committee has neither received any zonal review report nor deliberated on state creation bills. Topsy Gimba has more.
State is fake, is toxic, and is an irresponsible media outlet. So it is important, Mr. President, to take this matter to Nigerians that the Senate has not, for now, sat on any committee's report from the zonal levels. The main committee is yet to even be received.
The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, also expressed concern about the spread of such misinformation, highlighting it.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria has not even concluded the processes of getting a final report for deliberation on constitutional amendment, and therefore no single state, proposed or otherwise, has been created. And even if that were to be the case, it will involve all the houses or assemblies in the country, and we must get their 2/3 concurrence before anything can come back to us.
Further clarifications emphasized that the ongoing constitutional review involves public hearings across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones, gathering suggestions, including requests for new states and local government areas, but no formal decisions or approvals have been made by the Senate or its committee. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The Senate has held a solemn special plenary session in honor of late former President Muhammadu Buhari, who passed away on July 13, 2025. The motion was sponsored by the Senate leader, Senator Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, Ekiti Central, who described Buhari as a gallant soldier, accomplished Democrat and patriotic, whose life symbolized discipline, integrity, and selfless service to the nation. Topsy Gimba tells us more.
In his lead debate, Bamidele recounted Buhari's extensive legacy from his birth on December 17, 1942 in Daura, Katsina State, to his military training in Kaduna, India, and the United States. Late Buhari rose through the military ranks, serving during the Nigerian Civil War and holding several key national positions, including military governor of the old northeastern state, Federal Commissioner for Petroleum, chairman of the NNPC, and eventually head of state following the 1983 coup. The Senate noted his disciplined leadership style during his military regime and later his historic democratic journey that saw him becoming president in 2015 under the All Progressives Congress APC and his re-election in 2019. Senator Bamidele also highlighted Buhari's numerous national and international awards, including the GCFR and decorations from several African and European countries. He also pointed out his role in establishing the Petroleum Trust Fund (PTF) and championing massive infrastructure investments during his tenures.
As I move this motion today, I am reminded of the transcendent nature of the human life. However, our consolation is that our former president led a successful and fulfilled life, both as a gallant and courageous soldier who rose to the peak of his career as a military officer and also as a successful Democrat.
During the session, lawmakers took turns to eulogize the late president.
But one thing that remained clear and in line with the preponderance of opinion of Nigerians is that President Buhari was a man of integrity, a highly principled person.
There are very few Nigerians who have the privilege and the honor and the mercy and grace that God gave to Buhari to lead and serve a great nation like Nigeria, and he served for the full 8-year tenure and retired back home. Very few Nigerians. It's a great honor that God gave him.
Mr. President, as many of us have said, was a man of integrity. Not only that, he was a very, very humble person.
President Buhari, for now, is still the most celebrated president even after death. You could see the way the state burial was arranged, which was the most elaborate and the most expensive state burial we have ever witnessed since 1960.
The chamber resounded with bipartisan reflections on Buhari's controversial but impactful leadership, with lawmakers agreeing that his memory will endure for generations. The session ended with a final moment of silence as lawmakers stood in reverence for the departed leader. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
In a related development, the House of Representatives has held a valedictory session in honor of Nigeria's former President Muhammadu Buhari, who passed away on July 13, 2025 at the London Clinic in the United Kingdom. House of Representatives correspondent Annette Patrick tells us more.
It was a solemn moment on the floor of the House of Representatives as lawmakers pay glowing tributes to the late former President Muhammadu Buhari. Leading the session, Deputy Speaker Honorable Benjamin Kalu described Buhari as a man of rare integrity, humility, and unwavering commitment to national service. Deputy Speaker Honorable Kalu also highlighted key legislative achievements under Buhari's administration, including the Not Too Young to Run Act 2018, the Petroleum Industry Act and Climate Change Act 2021, the Electoral and Anti-Money Laundering Act 2022, as well as the 2023 Constitutional Amendment on prisons, railways, and electricity.
President Buhari's tenure as president from 2015 to 2023 was a period of unprecedented legislative productivity, a demonstration of his willingness to collaborate with the 8th and 9th assemblies. Under his watch, 129 bills were signed into law, an impressive legislative record. These were transformative laws that address long-standing challenges and reshape Nigeria's legal framework.
Lawmakers from across party lines extol his contributions to Nigeria's democratic development, particularly his commitment to anti-corruption, national unity, and institutional reforms.
In his own words, I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody. This singular statement captures the essence of service to Nigeria.
He also made a foray into the electoral and democratic reforms, where he signed the Electoral Act 2022, which introduced the electronic transmission of results. He didn't also stop there. He also made achievements in the petroleum sector reforms.
Death is something that will come to us all, and it's time for us as leaders to reflect and do what is right by this country. President Buhari had his flaws like we all do, but he will continue to be someone we all look up to and someone that we will love to live half of his life.
He's a very good man, very honest man. A man of few words. He does not talk too much, no dogon at all. He tells you how he feels, and that's it. He does not make too much statements.
Members of the Green Chamber commiserated with the late president's family and called on future leaders to emulate his discipline, simplicity, and patriotism. Recall Muhammadu Buhari served as Nigeria's president from 2015 to 2023, following a distinguished career as a military officer and former head of state. The House observed a moment of silence in his honor as Nigeria continues to mourn the passing of one of its most prominent statesmen. Annette Patrick, Global Television News.
Nigerian troops had foiled the midnight attack by Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists on Mongunu and Bitta, killing a senior commander, Ibn Khalid, and the group's cameraman. 17 other terrorists were also neutralized across Sambisa forest, with some escaping with injuries, according to Major General Abdusalam Abubakar, Operation Hadi Kai. Troops recovered arms and explosives, including AK-47 magazines and a rocket-propelled grenade, as pursuit efforts continue in the Lake Chad region. The Kebbi State government has awarded 283 million naira contract to fully rehabilitate and modernize its dormant state printing press in Birnin Kebbi. The upgrade aims to boost internal revenue and protect the confidentiality of government documents. Information Commissioner Yakubu Birnin Kebbi says work will be completed within 3 months, with plans to modernize the State History Bureau next. A cholera outbreak across 6 local government areas in Niger State has claimed 13 lives and left about 236 residents hospitalized. Health officials say Shiroro, Bosso and Chanjaga local government are among the hardest hit, with emergency treatment and isolation centers now active in affected areas. The government has also opened a central isolation facility in Mina as part of multi-sectoral response to contain the outbreak. Moving on now to Governor Hope Uzodinma has observed that lasting peace and security in Imo State's border communities are key to driving the state's socio-economic development. The governor stated this while inaugurating the new Imo State Boundary Committee, which is expected to strengthen boundary management and promote peaceful coexistence among communities. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe tells us more.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma emphasized that effective boundary administration is crucial for resolving disputes and preventing conflicts. He called on the committee to carry out its duties with dedication and transparency.
And charge this committee to be diligent and do whatever it will take to return peace in the disagreeing communities in Imo State and in handling all boundary issues in Imo State, so that Imo State will have peace, bring prosperity and the enabling environment that will guarantee the realization of our aspirations as a government.
In her response, the chairman of the committee, who is also the deputy governor, Chinyere Komaru, pledged to work with the stakeholders to peacefully resolve boundary issues and strengthen unity across the state.
We will work hard to perform the duties for which we have been inaugurated today, ultimately adding value to your administration and bringing happiness to the great people of Imo State, which is your heart's desire.
The committee is expected to help maintain peace, build stronger community relations, and promote good governance throughout the state. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, Chile selects 23 players for Super Eagles B-Chan 2025. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, President Bola Tinubu has received top officials of the World Bank Group at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, during a courtesy visit. The meeting saw President Tinubu engage in discussions with the Managing Director and Chief Financial Officer of the first of the World Bank Group, Ashula Kent, as well as the country manager, Tamara Samad. Kikelomo Okere has details.
Following a high-level meeting with the president, top government officials and international partners have shared encouraging updates on Nigeria's economy and infrastructure development projects. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, described a key infrastructure project as a self-financing initiative. He explained that the project is firmly anchored in private sector, which will utilize and finance the facility, thereby ensuring its strong viability and sustainability.
Specifically to discuss the 90,000 kilometers fiber optic project, of which the World Bank, which is led by the Honorable Minister for Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. That project is a landmark one of the biggest fiber optic projects in the world. Of course, the World Bank is glad to be a major partner of Nigeria, along with other development partners.
Meanwhile, Bosun Tijani, Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, highlighted the President and Minister's focus on mobilizing the best and most sustainable resources. This dedicated effort aims to accelerate infrastructure growth across the nation.
Driving the development of infrastructure in Nigeria. But our infrastructure is not just physical, it's also digital as well, which is why digital infrastructure is also a priority from our ministry, and we've enjoyed the support of Mr. President. That's why the FEC approved that we should lay 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable across Nigeria.
Speaking on behalf of the World Bank Chief Financial Officer, Anshula Kant, emphasized the dual importance of investing in physical infrastructure and human capital.
Nigeria is a very, very valuable and important partner for the World Bank Group. Some of our key priorities and Nigeria's key priorities, they really resonate well together. Today, the World Bank Group is embarked on a mission for eradicating poverty on a livable planet. What does that mean? Accelerated growth, better jobs for the young people.
The party is expected to deliberate on key issues as it prepares to the next phase of governance. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The House of Representatives has launched a sweeping probe into Nigeria's downstream oil sector, focusing on refinery maintenance, crude assets, and Dangote Refinery's alleged market dominance. Committee Chairman Ikenga Ogochineri said the House will revisit the OVH energy acquisition and examine multiple petitions from oil marketers and retailers. Lawmakers are also considering amending Petroleum Industry Act to address emerging gaps and ensure fair competition across the sector. The federal government has inaugurated the governing board of the National Automotive Development Council, NADDC, to strengthen the council's capacity to effectively oversee and drive the development of the Nigerian automotive industry. The Minister of State for Trade and Investment, Senator John Owo-Eno, charged members of the newly constituted board to reposition Nigeria's automotive sector for industrial development and global relevance. Over now to Ubong Osoro for more details.
The National Automotive Development Council was focused on promoting local manufacturing, enhancing industry's contribution to national economy, as well as fostering sustainable development in the automotive sector. The Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Owo-Eno, emphasized the need to revive local vehicle production, attract fresh investment into the automotive manufacturing, and drastically reduce Nigeria's reliance on imported vehicles. He says the inauguration signals a renewed commitment by the government to transform Nigeria's automotive sector into a job-creating and revenue-generating industry.
I urge you to approach your duties with dedication, with diligence and forward-thinking approach without interference in the day-to-day administration of the council. I charge this board with the following key responsibilities: strategic planning, policy formulation, stakeholder engagement, infrastructure development, skills development, attracting investment, promoting local content, promoting CNG and electric vehicles. It's so important.
In his remark, Chairman of the Governing Council, Chief Emma Enoko, pledged the board's full support for the federal government industrialization efforts.
Our task is to work with patriotic resolve and strategic foresight to reposition Nigeria as a major hub for automotive manufacturing assembly.
The Council is saddled with the responsibility of implementing the National Automotive Industry Development Plan, NAIDP, aimed at boosting local production, setting industry standards, promoting parts manufacturing, and facilitating technology transfer. Ubong Osoro for Global TV.
The 2025 WTT Contender Lagos Tournament is in full swing at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, with top international and local stars competing for ranking points and the championship prize. With Nigerian Ice Kadri Haruna absent, players like Olajide Omotayo, Taiwo Mati, Matthew Kuti and Italy-based John Oyebode are seizing the spotlight to make an impact on home soil. In women's singles, defending champion Reiji Akula faces stiff competition from Japan's Hina Hayata, Egypt's Hannah Goda and France's Patricia Pravade as a 5-day showdown heats up in Lagos. Now that's it on Global TV News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.